Everyone's telling you to build AI agents, but nobody tells you what Copilot Studio actually is or where it fits. So, in the next 10 minutes, I'm going to fix that. By the end, you'll know exactly what Copilot Studio is, what an agent really is, and the bit everyone gets confused about how it's different from the Copilot you already use every day. And I'm not going to bury you in jargon. If you've never opened Copilot Studio in your life, you're in the right place. This is part one of the series. Start here. By part two, you'll have built a working agent yourself. I'm Nathan. I'm a Microsoft MVP in Copilot Studios, and I build this stuff for real clients every day for a living. So everything here is the practical version, not marketing fluff. Let's get into it. Here's the thing that trips everyone up. Microsoft has slapped the word Copilot on about 100 things, and three of them sound almost identical. Let me clear all three in 90 seconds. 1. Microsoft Copilot. This is the free chatbot, the one in your browser, in Windows, and on your phone. You ask it a question and it answers. Think of it as ChatGPT with a Microsoft badge. You use it, but you don't build anything with it. 2. Microsoft 365 Copilot. This is the paid one, built into Word, Excel, Teams, and Outlook. It can see your company data, emails, files, and meetings, and help you with your actual work. Things like summarize this thread, draft this doc. Again, you're a user here. 3. And this is the one the whole series is about. Copilot Studio. This is not something you use. This is the workshop where you build your own custom agents. It's the factory, not the product. So, Microsoft Copilot and M365 Copilot are things you use. Copilot Studio is the tool you build with. Burn that into your brain, and everything else in this series clicks into place. Okay, by definition, Copilot Studio is a low-code tool for building your own AI agents. Low code means you mostly point, click, and type in plain English. You're not writing hundreds of lines of code. It's part of the Microsoft Power Platform family. So if you've ever touched Power Apps or Power Automate, it'll feel familiar. Here's the mental model I want you to hold. In the old days, building a chatbot meant developers, months of work, and a budget. Copilot Studio collapses that down into something you can stand up in an afternoon because you describe what you want in natural language, and the AI does the heavy lifting underneath. So, for example, here we've got the instruction box of our AI agent. We've simply typed instructions, and the agent is going to perform these instructions without us having to write lots of lines of code. That's the shift. You're not programming behavior anymore, you're describing it. And that's why this is suddenly accessible to people who never thought of themselves as developers. What is an agent? Now, when it comes to the word agent, everyone is talking about it, but hardly anyone ever defines it. So let's make this concrete. An agent is really just three things bolted together. To start with, an agent is a brain. That's the AI model, the large language model, plus your instructions, the plain English rules that you give your agent to follow, such as you're a helpful HR assistant, be friendly, never give legal advice. That's it. It's the personality and the guardrails that you give to your agent so that it knows what to do. Secondly, knowledge. Out of the box, your agent doesn't know anything about your business. And so you need to give it knowledge. This is called grounding. Things like a SharePoint site or documents or even a database. Once you do that, your agent can answer questions about policies and products and data that are specific to your organization itself, making it far more useful. And we'll get into this in part 3. Finally, actions. This is where your agent stops being a mere chatbot and becomes an actual agent. An action lets it do something, creating records, sending emails, looking something up in another system, or even kicking off workflows. A chatbot talks and an agent acts. So when someone says AI agent, all you really need to think is a brain with instructions. That's it. knowledge about your world, and the ability to take action. That's the whole game. And here's the part that surprises most people: an agent doesn't have to wait for you to chat with it. It can be triggered automatically, run on its own, and finish a task without you even being in the room. But we're getting ahead of ourselves, and we'll build up to that. Make this real. When does Copilot Studio actually make sense to use? Let's run through a few scenarios. Firstly, in customer service, you can use Copilot Studio to design a support agent that runs on your company's public website. Something that answers the same 50 questions your internal customer service team is sick of answering time and time again. The agent can use your real documentation to answer the questions the same way a human customer service agent would. Or you could use it internally for your internal help desk. Questions that people get time and again, like how do I book leave or what's the expenses policy? An agent built in Copilot Studio has the capability to know your intranet. So people in HR and IT stop getting the same Teams messages every day. We can even use Copilot Studio to extend M365 Copilot. Remember the paid Copilot from earlier. You can build a custom agent in Copilot Studio and then drop it right into M365 Copilot so your whole organization can use it where they already work. Finally, we can use Copilot Studio to automate processes. We can connect it to line of business systems like our sales CRM, our customer service, or marketing systems, and then let it create records, send follow up emails, even update things like help desk tickets, all in plain language. Now, quick honest note, because I'm not here to sell you. Copilot Studio isn't free to run at scale. There are consumption costs behind the agents that you set up. But don't worry about that yet. Everything in this series you can build and test without spending a cent. I just don't want it to be a surprise later. Let's recap fast. Copilot Studio is the low-code tool you build agents with, not the Copilot you chat with. An agent is a brain, knowledge, and actions. And you'd reach for it whenever you want AI that knows your business and can actually do something with it. That's the foundation. Everything else in this series builds on those three ideas. And in the very next video, part 2, we'll stop talking and start building. I'll walk you through creating your first working agent from a blank screen, no code at all, in about 15 minutes. I'll release that video soon. And if this video made Copilot Studio finally make sense, do me a favor and subscribe. It genuinely helps the channel, and there's a lot more coming. See you in part 2.